Okay, we're back. Sam's jumping some rope.
Still jumping rope.
That's right.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Alright, but I'm stopping now. So now we'll just get into some jumping jacks. Throw jump rope off to the side.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that for very long.
Alright, how's the audio this time?
Alright, and then kick stretch. We've done it for a while, so we might as well bring it back into people's minds. And again, I'm doing it on my stuff in space. Good for balance. I'm using my arm as a counterbalance to my leg. Alright, here, and same thing, getting uncoordinated.
Haven't done this since last month, you know.
Yeah,
so.
really. Remember, pull your hand down because your leg has more mass than your arm. And so if you just kind of let it flail, then you're gonna get off balance. So you have to give some energy. Energy equals mass, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now of course, we'll go with the old standby. What we do every time is opening the gate because you can't, I don't know, I was gonna come up with some sort of stupid idiom, but I gave up for your guys' benefit. So, you can't open the gate. I'll have to work on that one.
Yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday with more idioms.
More idioms, Sam's idioms. All right, and then close the gate. Yeah. Whoa, try and keep your balance. And if you really want to practice your balance, do it with your eyes closed because it shuts off one of the inputs. What I've heard, there's 3 different things that your brain takes in to kind of calculate or to figure out what your balance is. And it's inner ear, foot pressure, all right, so where you're leaning, and then horizon off of your eyes. So that's why it's best to keep your head up nice and tall, because then you can see the horizon and you'll be better balanced. If you have your head down and your head is facing towards the ground, then you don't have a reference to guide you on. All right, so now wash the feet. So stick the foot out, sit back with your hips. My hips go backwards. Splash a little water. Do the other one. Splash a little water. Ooh. Oh, a little stiff in the posterior. Posterior chain. Yeah, that's what it's called.
That's right.
That's right.
Your yanking muscles.
One more. This side. All right. So now we'll step out into lunge. All right. Really turn sideways. So we're trying to stretch the muscles on the inside. I have no idea what they're called, either adductors or abductors.
Boy, I looked it up and then promptly
forgot. So nice and tall. Again, I'm talking about that frame of reference that helps you keep your balance. And then we'll pivot and weight into my back leg. I can feel the stretch. Again, if you got to adjust where your feet are when you're doing the stretch, that's fine. You don't have to keep them glued and try and do some sort of graceful Instagram yoga like what I'm doing, but all right, we'll go over to the other side. I'm not really pushing here. I'm kind of just setting and I'm kind of putting a little bit of pressure and I'm kind of relaxing to that, just the slightest, right? But not like trying to push over, just a little bit of heaviness in my hand on my leg to convince it to move over. And then rotate into athletic lunge position or crescent lunge, whatever you want to call it. No. All right, cool. All right, now we're gonna do standing bow pose. So I'm here and I'm holding everything nice and straight, right? And then I'm gonna push in to my hand with my foot, and then I'm gonna bend over slightly until it takes me really tight. And stop and relax. And I'm gonna try and make sure that my hips don't tilt, right? That my hips are staying nice and square. Whoa. I better look up and look at the horizon and keep my balance better. There we go. All right, and then the other side. All right, and then everybody's favorite, downward dog. So get on our hands and knees. Again, hands right underneath, wrists right underneath shoulders, knees right underneath hips. Curl your feet and push yourself backwards over your feet. I'm just concentrating on my breath while I'm in this position, trying to keep it relaxed. Keeping my breath relaxed keeps the rest of my body relaxed. Alrighty, that feels good. Okay, lunge drills. So we'll start off with the basics. We'll stand in attention position, just like so. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick out with our front foot, land, and we're gonna try and make that landing with our front foot nice and soft, right? That our front leg and the knee bending is a nice, soft shock absorber. All right, so, and kick, and land. Keeping our head up nice and tall, all right, nice and relaxed. Push yourself back, there, and kick, and land. Back, kick, land, and land, and all right, and we'll do it a little bit just to kind of get ourselves warmed up as well. You're going to lunge out and push yourself back to attention position. We'll only do it for 10 or 15 times or even less. And try and like feel I'm like tensing up and pushing at the kind of the right time. Anytime before that, my foot's up in the air, I'm very relaxed. And when my foot starts hitting the ground, that's when I start putting on the muscle to put the brakes on, right? I don't need to be super tense before I land, right? That's just gonna make things worse, right? So I'm very relaxed and right there, right? When my foot touches the ground, that's when I start pushing and resisting. All right, we'll do it a couple more times. All right, cool. All right, and we'll just go to our guard position. All right, so here, and this is a spring, pushing it down with our hips, it's locked in place, right? Like one of those snakes in a can, snakes in a nut can kind of deal, right? Push down, ready to go, right? As soon as that lid pops off, poof, comes out, and everybody laughs. All right, so there, and the top of the can, the lid on the can is our front foot. So as soon as that seal between the floor and our front foot breaks, this is getting released, okay? So that's kind of what we want to visualize. So we're loaded up, everything's kind of cool, right? This is ready to go. As soon as my foot lifts up, boom. So I'll even tune it down. I don't want that. I want to be relaxed, but you can make it very focused and very strong action. So, boom. All right. Excuse me. Just dry throat. Push. Keep your balance. Push. All right, so now we'll do just a little bit of on guard and recover. So when you do the recovery too, so we're out here, you need to be pulling yourself back, okay? It doesn't matter where your anchor catches, right, as you can see, but you need to be ready to pull back to that point, right? I don't need to keep my foot locked in place and bringing myself back, but I need to be able to get that anchor to bite when I need it to. All right, that's the important thing. So, lunge recover. Right, so I brought it up a little bit, but that's okay. But the important thing is when my body starts moving backwards, does my foot move forwards? Right? So it's not anchored there because everything's going this way. But as soon as I land, I kind of have a grip on the floor, right? That's put, that's done, right? I'm going back to that spot. All right? Even if the big lunge, right? Bang, whoop, and back, right? Because all my energy is done, right? Already, right? So I'm totally chill, and I can come back. All right, and one more time. That was kind of a bad one, so I'm gonna do it again. There. And and notice when you can do this, if you want to practice on your own, what I was doing too is I'm making sure my front foot is way out in front, right? So I have some amount of leverage to push against, right? If I keep my foot here, it's not gonna work, right? I need to get my foot out there, so, because it's the farther away my front foot is from my center of gravity, then the easier it is for my muscles to push me backwards. I have more leverage. All right, so now what we're gonna do, real simple, is just you're gonna go small lunge, medium lunge, long lunge. So lunge, 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 and then back. Lunge, 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 and recover. So little lunge, right, they're right in front of you. One's a little bit bigger, and then boom. So, the big lunge looks cool, right? I am somewhat convinced that that's the thing that like saves you out of like a mistake to a degree, right? Which happens all the time, and then it looks cool, right? That's good people can adjust on the fly and tweak things to get what they want to have happen. But they started their attack, and all of a sudden, the person disappeared, right? And they're not there, but they're in the middle of the lunge and they can't transition, so they just gotta keep pushing. So it's kind of it's not what we shoot for, but we should be prepared for coming into that scenario, I guess is what I want to say. Sorry, anyway, we're gonna keep rolling. So again, we'll go small, medium, large, right? Small, medium, large. Oops, my back foot slipped. And that's because I put too much weight here and didn't keep my weight back on the outstep of my foot, right? I put too much weight up here on my big toe and the ball, and it slipped. If I keep my foot here flat and put the weight on the outstep of the foot, right, then I have much better boom. If I'm here, you can see the slide. So we don't want to be putting pressure here. We want to be putting pressure on the outside of the foot. Okay, all right, we'll just move on. All right, so what I want you guys to do, I'll show you first, and then if anybody's there, then you guys can do it and watch my signal. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna be moving your feet nice and fast, just like this, right? And then when I lean in, you're going to lunge, right? And we don't need a big lunge, right? Because I'm right there, right? That's why you're committing the action. You're not trying to do any preparatory. I'm in distance. If I'm trying to counter against you, how far away am I gonna have to be? All right, so we're moving, right, moving, and then I lean, right, and lunge, and then recover. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And back to lunge, or back to on guard, moving your feet. I'll stop moving my feet because it throws me off, so everybody's there pitter-pattering away, annoying their siblings and other housemates. Good job. And boom. And pitter-patter, let's get at her. All right, cool. We're only gonna do this one more time. So everybody's pitter-pattering away, pitter-patter, pitter-patter, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Bop. Good. All right, so now we're gonna move on to advanced lunge, and we're just gonna do a little reminder. Going through the basics is always a good idea for everybody all the time. We've done this down here at the club. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna tap our front foot 3 times, right? Ba, ba, ba. And what I called it is you just do a giddy up lunge. So front foot goes up, and then the back foot comes up before the front foot lands. And then lunge right away. So 1, 2, 3, but and this one especially, we don't want any sort of big heavy push or anything like that. We just want to feel the flow, feel how the energy wants to go with your body. And so 1, 2, 3, but yes. 1, 2, 3. And also when I'm doing that badam, right? So I'm going front foot, back foot, right? When that back foot's hitting the ground, I'm not putting it down. I am hitting the ground with it. And that's launching me into the lunge, right? So I'm not setting it down and then pushing. It's just driving into the ground. And the ground isn't moving, so that means that I have to. So we don't want to be da-da, right? We want to be hit the ground and go. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all right, one more time. Good. All right. So now it's be pretty simple. We're going to do just what we just did a moment ago, which is fast feet. All right. And when I lean forward, you're going to do advanced lunge. All right. There's additional part to my signal that's important, and you should be paying attention to it, even though it's going to be the same thing. Whenever I go in, you're just going to go advanced lunge. But my retreat, right? Watch my retreat, right? Because you're going to be doing the advance when I lean in. When you start the lunge, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be starting to get out of there, right? And that makes sense. And most fencers do that, right? People don't, especially like competent fencers, or people that, are kind of know what they're doing. How often do they just like
flail at something and come into distance, right? They're always stepping in and stepping out and stepping in and stepping out. I mean, sometimes they stay there because they want to counter, but a lot of times they're kind of just in that distance where you could hit maybe with the lunge just for an instant, right? And so that's why we have the advanced lunge. All right, anyways, so again, fast feet. When I lean in, you're gonna go and finish, right? And watch my retreat when I go back. What am I doing on the retreat, or how big is it? All right, so you're moving, I step in and then I step away, right? And you should be hitting me. If we were here in person, right, you would want to be hitting me right about there, right? When my back foot slides into place and I'm about to bring my front foot in, right? That's kind of where you want to be extending to hit me. If it's just a straight attack. If it's a indirect attack, then that's a little bit different, but you know, specifics. So, all right, anyway, so pitter patter, da 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 da. Oop, and step. There you go. Da 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 da. And also, when you recover back, well, we'll go into it. So I lean in, and then I'm back, and then you recover, and you're keeping your hand out, right, and watching me. Just watching me, right? You're not in a panic, you're not trying to do anything, you're just being chill, lunge, and then recover. And just watching what I do, right? Get in the habit of watching the person, right? Don't trust me, essentially, right? Even though the distance is opening up or whatever, right? You don't know what I'm gonna do, right? So you should treat me as dangerous, as unpredictable as that, because, you know, events and contents, yes. So, anyways, so I am moving, whoop, and there we go. And back to on guard, and moving, fast feet, ba-da-ba. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Good. All right, cool. We've done enough of that. So we'll move on to the last thing as far as lunging drills. So I talked about retreat, right? So if I take a small step, right? Okay, I finish, right? If I get away, right? Then you gotta kind of extend the lunge, right? You can maybe take another step and stuff, but you know, has its own dangers. You know, and if you think you can stretch out and hit them, go ahead. You know, missing and going on defense isn't the worst thing in the world. And if your lunge, if you've done it and you've surprised them and they've got to like kind of just like lean back and get away by the skin of their teeth, probably not gonna be able to hit you. And maybe they can slide in a stop cut or something like that on the way out. But a lot of times, if you really surprise them with the distance, even if you miss, they're just backing away and trying not to die, so that they can establish an attack and come up with some sort of plan later on, right? So you're good. All right, anyways, so again, fast feet, right? And when I lean in, then boom, all right? And depending on when my back foot sets on the ground, that's when you extend your arm, essentially, right? So if I keep going, then that's where you extend the arm to hit me. All right. So, moving your feet, and small lunge, and recover, watching me, good, come back in. I wish I could see people, but oh well. Soon enough.
Soon.
All right, so we'll do this just for a little bit more. One thing I want to bring up is how much energy does that advanced lunge take? I mean, I kind of talked about it when we were doing the tap, you know, just chill, right? But that's really important because the advance is not, you're not going to hit in the advance, right? So you don't need the acceleration or like a super amount of power to try and like, that's not necessarily always the case, but for most cases, right, you just need to take a step, right? And that's your final preparatory action, okay, in that advance. And that's very important. There's a reason why it's called preparation. And, you know, usually when it's said by referee, it means you got hit or the other person got hit when they weren't trying to hit. So we always have this like weird bad association with preparation as fencers. But it's there for a valid reason, right? Why is it called preparation? Because you're preparing the attack, right? You're setting things up. You know, you're watching how the distance plays. You're watching the timing, right? And all of that. So it's important that you prepare the right way. If you are, if you ever have gone camping and you have to, like, you know, run around, you know, your friends are waiting in the car, and you're trying to find, you're like, where did I put that and this and that and the other thing, and you just grab stuff, and you usually end up carrying too much of the wrong thing and none of the right things. Something essential gets left behind, and you bring along something else that's like this totally unnecessary for the trip. And so it's better to approach camping trip, I'll keep on going with the analogy, right? Where you have time and you think about systematically, like, all right, what am I trying to do here, right? Is it a fishing trip? Is it bird watching? I don't, you know, whatever, right? Like, why are you going there? And so what gear do you need to do that? What time do you need to go to get that done, right? What are you trying to achieve? Because certain times are better than others. Anyways, so same thing with the attack, right? Why are you doing the advance to close the distance? Yes, because you want to hit them, but how, right? Why do you want to do? Are they playing with the distance and baiting you with their head? Are they... do they spaz out with a series of parries every time you get close to them? You know, what are they doing, right? And so you don't want to just like rush in. You want to be thinking about what are they doing when you approach them, right? So that is the purpose of preparation. So sure, there's a bunch of other people that can say it much more succinctly than I did, but there you go. So, like, use preparation for what it is, right? Be prepared, get prepared, right? Where do you get prepared? It's not in the battle of action. It's farther back, behind the front line, right? So when the distance is open, you can prepare more and kind of think about things. All right, so anyways, I digress. And with that final preparation of the advance before the lunge, right? Smooth, calm, right? It's the last thing that you need to put into place to make the trip really work well, right? And so you don't need to be in this big rush, right? You got everything else planned, and then you freak out and, I don't know, break something, you know, because you decided to like refix it for the 5th time before the trip or something like that, you know. All right, anyways, so we'll do it a couple more times. So pedal patter, pitter patter, pitter patter, right? And then I lean in, and then finish, right? So just a small advance, and then you see where I'm backing up to. All right, cool. All right, so we'll move on to the last piece, and that's, we're going to keep it really, really simple. We're going to do Tabatas, and so we're going to do Tabatas, 20 seconds doing the exercise, 10-second rest, 8 rounds. We're going to do 2 of those. 1 round's going to be jump squats, and then the other one's going to be kickouts. So we get our legs and our abs, which is as fencers, that's kind of all we need. So let's see if I have the app pulled up on my phone. Ooh, look at that. It's already there. All right, so 8 minutes and 50 seconds of funness. All right, 10 seconds. So jump squats first. With no sound. fix that. What? I'm confused by technology. Oh well. Oh, this is getting bad pretty quickly. That's all right. That's the beauty of Tabatas. Whew. I'm gonna have a vertical of like 3 millimeters at the end of this.
Well, at least we'll be able to slide a piece of paper under your
Yep. Ooh, those deep squats. Whew.
Oh, for those of you who are curious, abduction is moving away.
Ah!
Adduction is moving towards.
That makes sense. Abstract.
Yeah.
Abstraction.
They're both based off of Latin roots that so right now Sam's legs are adducting away.
2 more. Not too bad. The deeper you go with the squat, the better. You may not be able to jump as high, but you're getting stronger. All right, quick drink of water. Oh.
For those of you curious how much time you have left until we resume, got our intermission timer.
All right. 35. Kick out.
Well, got 10.
Hooray.
Getting close.
Getting close.
I think I know what's happening, Sam.
What?
Your headphones are connected.
Oh, that's correct.
I just heard a little tiny whistle beep from yonder bag.
Yeah, that is the case. Oh, I was doing it. Going slower is harder. Hooray! I'm overjoyed. I can hear again. Oh. Where are we at here? Oh. Four more. Two more, yeah. I can count. I can count today at least. All right, so that was it. Shush your face. All right, well, I don't know. It's good to see you guys, or at least, hopefully, at least for you guys to see me. You know, I gotta keep up my ego, so glad I'm putting my face out in front of everybody. So just remember, you know, stay hydrated, stay safe, and don't touch your face like I was doing in the video, but hey, that's the way it goes. Nobody's perfect. All right, have a good night.